Good morning! Today I'm actually in the studio very early this morning. I'm wanting to get some printmaking done before I get to work. And these are the plates that I have cut recently, little fox. And this will actually be the background for the fox. I'm going to print them in two different colours. A thought that keeps occurring to me is that these would actually be great as reductive prints. But in case you don't know, reductive prints are where you would print in one colour. Let's say with the background you print a nice light blue, and then you would cut some away and then you would print with a different colour over the top. That would layer the colours up. So let's say you print yellow over the top, you'd end up with green on the paper, but only in those areas that you haven't cut away. And you keep doing that. So reductive printing is quite a scary process because at the end you've destroyed your plate and you can't use it again. So I'm not going to start there. I'm just going to start with doing the two colour print with these guys, and then I'll keep thinking about that. My block is 20 centimetres squared, so I'll be cutting 25 centimetres for the paper, and I think it works out by 28.5. This is Stonehenge paper. It's off-white or natural colour, which I prefer. I love the tone. And with printmaking, we don't cut paper with a knife or a guillotine, we tear paper. Today I'm going to make an edition of 10. I think I've got another 2 sheets. It's so nice to have a lot of paper in the studio. The worst thing is when you get into printmaking and then you've run out of paper. So I try and avoid that mistake now. I buy quite a few sheets at once. If you ever want to know what gifts to get for an artist, there's beautiful things you can get. Beautiful sketchbooks, travel sets, brushes, all kinds of things. But I tell you something that's always really useful is paper. So that's it, that's my paper all cut and ready to go. If you have a printmaker in your family, another great Christmas present, if they haven't got one already, is a large sheet of plate glass. This is actually just a piece of glass from an old picture frame, and I don't recommend using this. It's not exactly safe, and it's also quite small. These are the printmaking inks that I'm using. And this comes from Mez, or Melbourne Etching Supplies. I just really like the consistency, the colour. I really love the texture that it leaves on the paper. Very sticky. It's like honey. I'm going to put a couple of colours here and I'm going to have a go at mixing them up. Exactly the kind of blue that I wanted. Okay, so it's time to ink. This is a beautiful speedball roller. It's sort of a medium one, which is my preferred roller, but there's different ones you can get. Something that I've done is I've actually cut from papers these little shapes to fit just in the gap. Even though you will roll this so that hopefully you don't end up with ink here, and I've cut that away quite deep, it will still end up here, it'll still get dirty, that's just what does tend to happen. So I'll ink it up and I'll put that there, and that will just assure when I print it that area will stay relatively clean. I put a thin line along here and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that, and then I'm going to start rolling out a square. And the aim is to have the ink evenly coating here, because then it means it's evenly coating your roller. Now the first print that you do, it's usually a bit of a dud. It's just the nature of it. So the first print I do, I'll normally print just on a plain sheet of A3 paper or a scrap, whatever I have. In fact, I'll probably do a couple that way. Okay, let's go print. I'm not going to worry about this gap just at the moment because this is really just a bit of a test print. So I'm going to lay that over the top. Piece of cardboard over the top. Just roll that through so that you can see what's happening. I'm going to roll that back through the other way. Okay. Lift up the rug. Lift up the cardboard. Sorry. And lift up the paper. So you can see the first print. Actually, that's not too bad. The first print is usually a bit light in areas. I can see that there was a piece of dust here, so I'm going to have to deal with that before we do any more prints. But what I'm looking for here is, has it been cut well? Well, I can see there's just a couple of little spots that I would like to deal with before I print that plate again. We wet the paper so that the ink transfers a little bit easier. Good practice is to actually do a few sheets of these first. Trusty piece of cardboard. This is because I do want the press with the rug to push down onto the paper, onto the plate, but I don't want it to be pushing into the grooves. So this just helps it to keep a little bit more flat. So we can see something's happened here. Let's have a look. This is our first print. It will be our artist proof, so it's not quite dark enough still. So I'm actually going to run that through another couple of times. Did we have our ink coming up? Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've actually been thinking about running a 2-day lino printing workshop with Port Macquarie Creatives, so if you're interested, let me know in the comments. We'd be creating 20cm blocks, the same size as the one I'm using today. First day would be designing the block and cutting the block. Second day, no doubt, we'll be finishing the cutting and printing. And we'll do a small run of each. I forgot to say actually that although these are oil-based inks, as I was talking about before, and it does mean that they're a little bit more toxic, it's just about how you clean them up. So the way that you clean up these inks, you ensure that the only thing that is going down the sink or near any waterways is soapy water. The rest is done in a way that ensures none of it goes down the sink or anywhere that's going to damage the environment. So I'm back at my desk now. Today I've got to do some illustration, I need to respond to emails, I need to draw up some quotes, and I also need to work on the marketing course that I'll be doing in Brisbane. But I want to just show you the final product. I'm really thrilled with that, so glad with just how it turned out. I think it's fantastic. So I've got an edition of 10 of those, and I'll be uploading them to my Etsy store soon, and also you can have a look at the final picture of it on Instagram soon. I just need to wait for it to dry. So I hope that you've enjoyed this printmaking demonstration, something a little bit different. And if you want to see any more, let me know, or if there's something in particular that you would like to see, let me know that as well.